Hello, hi, 'tis I Crimson, and we are here again on this fantastic Wednesday to play some Tales of Zestiria. Oh, I just realized that I wasn't actually 100% ready. Skills! True streamer moment. This is part of the chaos. I hope everybody's Wednesday is going well. And yeah, whole bunch of jazz. What the heck? Okay. My tablet's freaking out. It's not happy with me. Anyway, okay. So I know I'm an hour early than my schedule says I'm gonna be, but I have stuff that I gotta do in 3 hours, and I want to be sure that we get some good gameplay in before I have to go do other jazz. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Um, it's also the second day of February, and February feels like it's already going by too fast. So, either way, okay. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. I woke up 30 minutes ago. I keep choosing really bad times. I start stream 30 minutes after I wake up, it seems. So, that's where we're at right now. Alright. Just a reminder, this game contains elements of flashing, so do be careful while watching. If you have photosensitivity or epilepsy, this stream might be best to listen to rather than watch. Fight scenes tend to be where most of the flashing happens. Please take care and be safe while viewing, and enjoy the stream. Just stopping by to give interwebs hugs, but I can't stay. I'll be lurking mode on and off. No worries. I totally understand. I also forgot to actually capture the game, so that's smart. I totally understand. Thank you so much for the lurk. Thank you for choosing to lurk here. And of course, this is happening again. There we go. All right.
Bye.
Thank you for the lurk. I super appreciate it. I'll be here. Okay. Let us see what we were doing last time. Let me see if I can remember the commands. Synopsis. What happened last time? Surprised at Rose's identity, Soray nevertheless carries her to the shelter in the Scattered Buns hideout. He learns that the assassins are dedicated to wiping out evil. He develops a certain affection for Rose, who inhabits a world of darkness, yet is always bright and cheery. Soray's resonance, suppressed since his encounter with Haldolf, begins to return, making him able to see Lila and the others again. Encouraged by Maven, an explorer friend of the Sparrow Feathers, he begins exploring the hideout ruins, accompanied by Rose and her secret companion, Dezel. Rose's luminous personality suggests to Lila that she would make a perfect companion for Soray, but although Rose is gifted with the power of resonance, her fear of ghosts has kept it suppressed. When a hellion dragon newt springs upon them in the ruins, Rose is shaken by the invisible enemy. With Soray's best interest at heart, Miklia successfully talks her down. Shrugging off her fear of the unknown, she agrees to be Soray's squire and flies into battle. Seeking the power of the Armatis for his mission of revenge, Dezel too joins the battle as Lila's sublord. Having purified the dragon newt, with Rose and Dezel's help, Soray discovers a wall painting deep in the ruins illustrating the trials of the shepherd. If I can only overcome the trials, he thinks, then maybe I will find a way to repel Haldolf, the Lord of Calamity. A new hope grows in him. Now he sets out from the hideout to Rolance to prepare to undertake the trials with his slightly unusual but trustworthy new companions, the good-hearted assassin Rose and the seraph Dezel, who nurses a fierce lust for revenge on the hellion that killed his friend. And that's what happened last time. So now we're gonna go do that.
I can't believe I'm on a journey with real-life seraphim.
We're gonna be counting on you.
Yeah! Pleasantries are fine and all, but disembodied voices give me the total willies!
I can't believe I'm on a journey with a real-life scaredy cat.
Oh no, I'm gonna sneeze.
Pleasure to work with you too, Dezel. Man, I sure am feeling the tension.
Well-
Just like a real adventure. Adventures in social psychology, maybe. Shall we go?
Run him through.
Be on alert
Oh.
for the axe beak's jump attacks, even though it can't fly.
Sweet dreams. Be gone! No escape! Not yet! Solid thrust! Be gone!
So, how's Saray doing? He's yet inexperienced, but he's got potential.
You're quite critical of him.
He just doesn't respond to my jokes like you do.
Didn't you mean his shepherd aptitude? A city? Have we reached Rolance already?
Yep, this is Lastenbell. It's renowned the world over as a city where artisans and traders congregate. That's the one. You know more about the world than I thought. Hey, what did I say about no voices in my head? Apologies.
After me, Saray.
Sure are a lot of plant hellions around here.
I don't want to go around them, so you go first.
Ready? Strike! It's over! I will smite evil! Sweet dreams! Strike! How's this? First forward! Solid thrust!
Who's next?
Be gone! No escape! How's this?
Gotcha!
Sweet! Strike! Be gone! No escape! Do not underestimate me. If I make the oath, will I get power like Lila's?
Don't even think about it. That oath is way more trouble than it's worth. Work on honing the strength you already have instead of relying on that mumbo-jumbo, and you'll develop special skills all your own.
You mean you've got your own skills?
You bet I do.
Yeah? Like what? Show me.
You sure you're ready? I'm impressed. Didn't think you had it in you to act like a grown-up for once.
You're getting weird.
You sure you want to see it? I don't normally show it to just anyone, but for you, I just might make an exception.
And that's
Never
mean.
mind. Forget I asked.
It must get lonely, being Mickleo. Mickley only.
Honing the strength I already have.
That was funny.
Line up and wait. Those who don't comply shall be punished.
You gotta be kidding. I don't have time for this.
An inspection?
It's the army. What do you think? There's gonna be a real war going on real soon. Odds are they'll be detaining you, I bet.
Oop.
Huh? Why me?
You back there, pipe down.
Sorry!
You've heard the rumors about the shepherd, right?
Yeah, in Highland, I think.
Right, but the latest word is he's made his way to Rolance.
Uh-oh.
Huh, no kidding. Crazy.
Does the Rolance Empire think unfavorably of the shepherd?
You bet they do. The knights have seen what he can do in battle and are all up in arms, and the church has branded him a heretic. As
Ooh.
if that wasn't enough, there's talk of mysterious happenings going on in town.
Next.
Oh, looks like I'm up. On that note, watch your back out there.
I thought we'd be fine, but now I'm not so sure.
I mean, after what
I
happened
think
earlier.
it's best that you hide who you are. But the idea of making someone like you tell a lie is like...
It's like trying to convince your best hen to lay hard-boiled eggs.
Guess we better get ready to make a run for it.
We have a pass and everything. Just chill. I got this. Just no creepy head voices for the time being. Got it?
So long as you don't cause any trouble.
Okay,
Just keep your mouth shut.
Next.
All right, just keep our mouth shut. Can Saray do that? I don't know if Saray can keep his mouth shut.
I am Sergei Strelka, captain of the Platinum Knights, defenders of the glory of the Rolance Empire.
I like Sergey.
In cooperating to ensure the Empire's peace, you prove your gratitude as much as your loyalty.
Is he always like this, or are his boxers just chafing him?
Here you go. Our Merchant Guild pass. We've come to Lastenbell on business, specifically the collection of a bill.
The sparrow feathers, are you? Quite impressive.
We've got a strict deadline, no time to waste. The place of business is the liquor establishment on the main road.
Ah, yes, Boris's Canteen. That place certainly gets an awful lot of business.
And we deeply appreciate being a part of it. Is there anything else?
No. My gratitude for cooperating with our inspection.
Thanks for all your hard work.
Next, you there. Quite some garb you're wearing. Are you this young woman's guard?
Yes.
Oh, a girl doesn't dare travel alone.
Then why does he carry an ornamental sword?
He knew that Soray's sword was ornamental? He's seeing right through us.
He's less of an idiot than he looks.
Wait, there are people watching.
Dun dun dun.
Well, you know, we have our reasons.
I'm asking your guard here.
Crap.
Repeat after me.
Please forgive my unquestionably suspicious appearance. The truth is, I am the son of a provincial lord.
Lord.
Lord! Rose,
That's right. My husband here is nobility.
Husband?
What? You're married?
This whole situation.
never had I lifted anything heavier than a fork in my life, yet by chance did I fall in love with a traveling merchant. In the throes of passion, I threw my money and land away to be with her just over a year ago.
You did?
Well, now you did.
Even my wife didn't know the full truth. The cruelties of the outside world taught me how feeble I truly am. But even so, I knew a husband has a duty to protect his wife.
They're like manipulating.
So I wear an ornamental sword at my side as a hollow pretense of strength. Laugh at the weak will of a sad, broken man. Sorry.
You're doing your best. It's cool.
Oh, my dearest, your sweet words are succor to my tired limbs.
Sow
that's
the
too
seeds
good.
of love, and they will bloom no matter how arid the terrain.
Sergey falls for it.
Live and be strong. Next.
I don't know how that worked, but I think we made it. Thanks, guys.
More like we just lucked into the perfect audience.
A win's a win.
Turns out it's handy to have an invisible woman on your side, isn't it?
Puppies. I need puppies. That's what that makes me
I
think.
suppose. I'm sorry I told you to be quiet.
So it's all right if we communicate directly inside your...
No, it's creepy and obscene.
Obscene? I'm not obscene.
Aww.
Come on, let it go, Lila.
All right, then. I assume that we're on our way to Pendrago now?
Well,
We should explore the city.
But Mickleo, this town looks all kinds of exciting.
well, it does, so
We really ought to poke around at least a little. Did I nail it?
Yes.
guilty as charged.
Sounds fun. I'm game.
Bunch of children. That's why we get along so well. And someday we all will.
You mean Seraphim and humans?
Why didn't
What's
you
that?
walk if you were just gonna sit there and teleport? How do I get it? So
But
that I can...
goodness, we usually reserve such sensitive matters for later hours.
My apologies, Your Grace. I merely wish to offer my gratitude for the services.
It is appreciated, but you must understand, Cardinal Fortin and the other high clergy have very strict requirements for us.
I am aware, Your Grace. Be assured that my organization will be most generous in our contributions.
It looks like that is the town sanctuary.
Shall we?
Okay, but like I want to look at the bells, and I also want to hit up this save point.
Wilkus Wilk. Hey, Saray. What does my true
this
name
is so
mean?
funny.
Oh, it means rose is rose.
Rose is rose. Isn't that kind of lazy?
Is it? I mean, I made it on a whim, but I thought it seemed fitting.
It was an urgent situation, after all. But Princess Alicia used to be a squire, right? What was her true name?
Melphis Amechia. It means Alicia the Smiling.
Oh, I see. So it's not lazy. You're just being biased.
Huh? How?
My smile is pretty gorgeous too, you know.
Hey, Rose, you're scaring me.
Rose, that's just how Saray is.
Yeah, I know. Maybe his name should mean Saray is Saray.
Nah, I think the reason why Saray went with Wilkus Wilk or Rose is Rose is because even though she's part of the Assassin's Guild, which would harbor a lot of malevolence, technically, she is still herself and happy and bubbly and everything, but Saray doesn't know how to word that properly, but that's why it's Wilkus Wilk.
Is this belfry all machine run?
Yep, it's what Laston Bell is famous for. The gears get moving, the bells get swinging, and it sounds like the most entrancing music.
Now that's something I'd like to hear.
Wow, you'll only get something like this in the City of Artisans. Such craftsmanship.
Oh, an art appreciator now, are you?
I wonder how the motor works.
Don't ask me.
I hear the sound of the drawworks. They're probably utilizing the power of the aqueduct running underground.
Aqueduct?
Really? Nothing I can see suggests that.
That's because it's a hidden refuge area. This place was built as a fort in the first place.
Oh, so that's why this place is surrounded by castle walls.
Before it was a fancy belfry, this was a communication tower for sending smoke signals.
So much history everywhere. This is too cool.
Guys seriously geek out over the weirdest things.
Well, let them have their fun.
Yeah, I suppose.
At least it's a moment where Saray and Duzzle actually get along. It's like saying she's herself, just herself. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Mioma, Luzroff Roulette, Hefson Yuland, Lukheim Yerlin?
You okay?
Are you not feeling well?
Fethmis Mioma, Luzroff Roulette, Hefson Yuland, Lukheim Yerlin. Fethmis Mioma, Luzroff Roulette, Hefson Yuland, Lukheim Yerlin!
Whoa, what are you doing?
You tell me. When I formed the pact with Lila, she told me I had to remember those in like 3 seconds. And now I can't get them out of my head.
It was an emergency. I couldn't help it.
Lila can be pretty forceful sometimes.
I wish she were a ghost. She'd be less scary.
I don't even remember all of the true names. But I know Fesma Mioma is Lila. Yupsen Yerlin is Mikleo. The second one, the third one was Edna, and the last one is Dezel.
Got a request. Church of Rolance.
Roger.
This must be the sanctuary.
I love churches.
Not a very old building.
They're
but
so
still,
cool.
Remarkable architecture.
And that's the only reason why I like them is because of the architecture.
If they are, they better have a voice and a body.
No one's here.
Ghosts?
I mean, no guardian seraph.
No surprise, given that priest we saw earlier.
Yeah.
They're all like that. Everywhere you go these days.
Well, what should we do? Look for a seraph who can bless it?
Huh. I wouldn't know where to start.
You know, it isn't necessary to get completely hung up on restoring the blessing.
You sure?
It should be fine. There isn't all that much malevolence around here. And besides, it's not like you can go and save the world all by yourself.
But I want to.
Absolutely. The most important thing right now is that you broaden your perceptions and hone your powers.
So that we can stand up to the Lord of Calamity.
Or
right?
I cause chaos.
You'll have a hell of a time with that if you can't even tell when you're being followed.
Or I
Who are
can't
you
cause
talking
chaos.
to? The stained glass?
Yep. I knew he was gonna follow. No!
Didn't you have
I didn't
urgent
say.
business at the restaurant on the main street?
Damn it.
What was the name again?
I'm gonna have to
right,
fight
Boris's
him.
Canteen.
There's no restaurant by that name.
Uh-oh.
He's alone. Let's take him down and get out of here. Can he see us?
Nope. He's just that good.
Dude.
Have fun with your human friend, Sarai.
Huh? Seriously?
This is a human problem after all.
Come.
I don't like fighting Sergei.
I shall apologize for deceiving you. And then,
I shall arrest you.
you're going to tell me who you really are.
Yep.
Yeah! Whoa! Ha! Be gone! Let's get him! How's this? Tiger Blade! Strike! It's over! Slight Evil! Flow and Surge! Renting Gale! Sonic Rush! Yeah! Be gone! Strike! How's this? Strike! How's this? Sonic Too close! Ha! Ready? No escape! How's this?
Tornado Drive!
Whoa! Yeah. I will smite evil! Try this on! I got you! Yeah. What was that?
An art handed down with pride in my
How's
country.
this?
Tornado Drive!
Yeah, weak! Strike! How's this?
I hate Lion's Howl.
Yeah. Ha. Ready? No escape! Flow and Surge! Yeah! Try
Tornado
this on!
Drive!
Yeah!
Sword Ray!
That did it!
Ugh.
Sword Ray!
That's not what I meant to hit.
There!
Sword Ray! Lion's Howl!
No, wait.
Tornado
That
Drive!
did it!
I overestimated.
Damn!
Here!
I was so close. Not strategy, there's... What am I trying to think of? Battle actions. I still can't do that. Okay, I'm still good on all of that. Alright.
Focus, guys!
Who are you talking to?
Sonic Thrust! Be gone! No escape! How's this? Try this on! I got you! Yeah. Shatterbang! Be gone! Strike! It's over! Sonic Thrust! Yeah! Be gone! No escape! I will smite evil! Flow and Surge! Try this on! Try this on! I'll give my all! I can't lose! Sonic What was that?
An art handed down with pride in my country. Tornado drive.
Will you stop? That's rude.
There.
Lion's Home. Sonic Thrust. Tornado drive.
That did it. I don't feel so hot. I will smite evil. Try this on.
Sonic
Try this on.
Sonic Thrust. Sonic Thrust. Tornado drive. Lion's Home.
There.
Sonic Thrust.
It's time. Howling Blade. Full Tempest. Try this on. I will smite evil. Yeah. Shadow Shot.
Dragon Sword.
That did it.
Ah!
There.
Dragon Sword.
There.
Sword Rider.
Whoa. Yeah.
There we go.
You held back. You'll regret it later.
I'll be fine. I appreciate you looking out for me.
Even your comeback is weak.
Fight me, Dezel.
Are you speaking with Seraphim? So during the inspection, you really were.
I must apologize for lying to you, Sergei.
It is I who owe you an apology, gentle shepherd.
Well, at least he likes us.
Only in the clashing of blades may one gauge a man's strength. Might I ask your name?
Saray.
Shepherd Saray, I beseech you to lend me your power. For the sake of Rolance.
But we've heard that the Rolance Empire is on edge because of the Shepherd.
It's true. The Knights treat him as a dangerous wild card with a level of power comparable to Cardinal Fortin. And the Church views the Shepherd as a threat to the Cardinal, and therefore a heretic.
The Cardinal is the number 2 figure in the Church, first in line to succeed the Pope. On paper, she's an aide to the young Emperor, but in reality, she holds the reins.
Verily, and she is said to be capable of causing the same miracles that the Shepherd can.
Ooh, that
The
doesn't sound
same
good.
as the Shepherd?
What is the meaning of this? Since when have the knights been so brazen as to let themselves into the sanctuary unannounced?
Uh-oh.
Don't tell me you have come here intending to stain the ears of our faithful with foul lies about Cardinal Fortin.
Father, I would never.
Spare me your noxious dissembling. Get out of here at once.
Rude.
Come to the park. We'll finish our discussion there.
Gonna fight the father.
Is that a monolith?
It is, and I just looked at it so that I can have more points, and I can't
Wait,
get
that's...
this. Thank you for your treasure detection. That will be nice for later. I don't think I...
So
oh, I
wait,
can.
Look around you.
Sweet. Rose, you were in the way. I'm gonna save so I don't have to do that again. Alright.
There might be something nearby.
You. The one who was killed were... The ones who were killed were all devout followers of the church, and the way they died, oh, it's almost too dreadful for words. Their throats, each one torn out, as if by some inhumane beast. Mark my words, the Seraphim have turned their backs on our town, and we all will pay for the price.
Murder case, huh?
It's very disturbing, even in Rolance.
Get out of town! What do you mean they're selling elixir?
It's true. Word around town is that the nobles in Highland and Rolance can't get enough of the stuff.
But how are they getting access to it? I thought the church controlled the entire supply.
Well, they say they've got the church's blessing, no pun intended. And apparently the damn stuff actually works. Longer life, fresher breath, everything.
Well, don't that beat all?
What beats all is the price of that junk. You gotta be one rich chump, let me tell you.
Yeah, I should have guessed as much.
The church is selling elixir now?
Something sounds off about that.
Something does sound off about that. The old man up in the park, I hear he's only 40 years old. Apparently, it was some terrible event in his past that made him like that. Turtles! I have an important mission. I am on a journey to catch the traitor. Oh yeah, I made a new maps. Thanks for your business. Now I can continue my journeys. I love the turtles. There's a Norman. What do you do? Yeah. I really shouldn't have given it to Edna. I should have given it to myself, but I'm gonna have to like do that again eventually anyways. The burning dash does not do anything for me. Back. It's a bummer because eventually her blades aren't going to match. It ups your magic. The one he has now is better than that. There's so much to look at when it comes to choosing equipment. The blue wind, the Valkyrie is coming.
Sorry about earlier. I didn't want you to have to see that. Things weren't quite as bad between the knights and the church when the Pope was still around.
The Pope?
Pope Macedra was a kind-hearted philanthropist whom the former emperor greatly trusted. Even the knights would have gladly carried out any order he might give.
Wait, what do you mean was?
He went missing about a year ago. As if prepared for the confusion, Cardinal Fortin took the stage, and soon she had seized all political power.
So, you think the Cardinal had something to do with the Pope's disappearance?
Is there proof?
None. I had the combined powers of the entire Knight Squad on the case.
They're like,
but no
you
clues
can't
turned
say
up.
bad things about the Cardinal.
But any knight who snooped around the Cardinal went missing. 18 of them in all.
Uh-oh.
Subtle.
I don't want to admit it, but in order to stand against the Cardinal, we need power that exceeds natural capabilities.
Which is why you want to have Saray help.
Shepherd Saray, I know it is wrong of me to ask, but can you help seek out the true nature of the Cardinal?
I could. Am I allowed to? What do you say, Lila?
The Cardinal resides at the church in Pendrago, right? I thought commoners weren't allowed inside.
It's true. I'll try to pull some strings on my end to get you permission to enter.
All right. We'll meet with the Cardinal.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Frabjous day! I shall make the preparations
Frabjous?
immediately. Milady, Please forgive me for dragging your husband into all of this.
Huh?
Let us reconvene at Pendrago. Once you've arrived, come to the Knight's Tower.
He seriously thinks you two are married?
What a
weirdo.
But he's so pure.
It's kind of
Pure
funny.
idiot.
In all honesty. Like, he found out that our true identity is the shepherd. We're not some... So, like, he knows that we lied about some stuff, but he still believes that Rose and Soray are married. Oh! Whoops. Sorry. I dropped my controller. So that's just really freaking funny.
I can tell this is gonna be trouble.
But at least it's getting us inside the Shrine Church.
Right. While we're at it, we can probably tell the higher-ups in Rolance our side of the story.
Though something tells me those higher-ups are going to be the real problem.
For sure. Radish bell.
Oh my! Don't those potatoes look scrumptious? Oh yeah, radish bells. They're on the smallish side, but they're super sweet and delicious. They look like they'd go great with butter. That, or you can just bake them and sprinkle with salt. Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious.
You know those have got poison in them, right?
Poison? Oh, yeah, something like that.
Eat enough.
Look how
and it'll be
happy
your last
Lila.
meal.
Well, sheesh, you just gotta cook it thoroughly, right?
Nope. That actually strengthens the poison. You're even deader now.
How about if you cut the eyes off? Does that fix it?
Whoops, still dead. Radish bells contain poison in both the eyes and the skin. Now, you remove all the skin and slice out the eyes. It's perfectly safe.
Hey, Lila, where do you think you're going? I'm afraid this conversation is a bit...
I think she has some concerns about your food safety standards.
It's just, nope, you're even deader now. Saray, how's the young lass treating you? She's got a fiery streak, but you won't find a more honest girl. Do be patient with her. But really, a shepherd and an assassin's guild. I've never heard such an eccentric collaboration. I can't say I'm not curious to see what results. I love Maven.
It seems there's a treasure chest near us.
And it had money in it. Good job, Mikleo.
Wait,
Hi, Dr.
that's...
D. What did it have? Oh, a life bottle. Oh, so you're the shepherd, are you? I'm sorry to be impolite, young man, but I have a favor to ask you. The shepherd Sandra, who was the lord of the land for this town, ran away the other day. I'd be so grateful if you'd look for her for me. I'd do it myself, but there's so many hellions about these days. She said she was going to the lake. I think she might have met with the subterranean lake Cumbria Caverns. It doesn't have to be immediately, just whenever you have the time. I'd be so
It
thankful.
seems like the guardian seraph became a hellion.
But why would it just up and leave like that?
I'm doing good, Dr. D. How are you? I hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. I feel bad that, like, I started an hour before I usually do, so you kind of missed the really funny thing that happened. But it was so funny. Mikleo and Rose were trying to lie their way into town because, like, the Rolance Empire doesn't really favor the shepherd. And Sergei was there, and as they were trying to, like, lie about the whole situation, the Seraphim sat there and started manipulating Saray, and it just looked so funny. Let's see if I can fuse anything. It doesn't look like I can. I lied. I can fuse stuff. I'm gonna sell some of the other stuff that we don't super need. I might as well just buy it so that I can... How does that really up, like, stats? I don't understand. Which one looks better? This one. I swear I'm allergic to snow. Yeah. I can at least, like, up the other assassin's dagger. Switch with Mikleo. Ha, 420. This is the fun stuff. Oh, wait, no, I wasn't done. Okay.
So, do you think Rose has gotten used to us being around yet?
Yeah, I feel like she mostly has. She may be a big old scaredy cat, but she's pretty adaptable.
I'm not so sure. That fear of hers may run deeper than it looks. Remember, it was powerful enough to suppress even her prodigious resonance.
With the help of someone we know.
I don't have to apologize for anything.
But even so, Rose tagged along of her own volition. I'm sure she'll be just fine.
I want to believe she will. Human compatriots like Rose are one in a million.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
What's so funny?
I was just thinking, maybe we're the ones getting used to Rose and not the other way around.
Very likely.
You're talking to Lila and the others while they're invisible again, aren't you?
Creepalicious.
Guess she's still got a ways to go.
It just takes time and patience.
Okay, 1 second. Uno momento. Forget that it completely cuts out music when I sit there and exit the game. I just really needed to blow my nose.
I don't think any dogs have barked at me for a while now.
There's the reason why.
Is that Dezel? Looks like the dogs are flocking to him.
What? You want something?
No, I'm just a little surprised. You're okay with dogs?
Of course I am. Dogs are silent partners. You haven't given them enough of a chance to know better.
But dogs do bark.
They only bark because they can sense your anxiety and aren't sure where it's coming from.
In other words, it's because you're afraid of them in the first place.
Well, I'd argue that they bark at me first.
Miklio's so scared of dogs.
It's so hot again.
It truly is. I think I'm gonna get sunburned. Edna, do you use your umbrella for protection from the sun? As you can see.
Do Seraphim get sunburned too? I guess it makes sense since Edna has really fair skin.
Edna's umbrella can be used to avoid the sunlight as well as rain. It can even be used to push back the hellions.
Sniffles to sniffles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like killing 3 birds with 1 stone.
Not quite. It's also her signature item. So
My
it's more
allergies
like killing
are
4
like-
birds with 1 stone.
If that's true, then really it's like killing 5 birds with 1 stone since she
Allergies
has a
be
cute
kicking
mascot
my butt
character
today.
attached to it.
And it's also something she can change depending on her mood. So that's actually 6. I'm like Cinderella with an umbrella. I must say, that was a good one. Not to mention a lot of dead birds with 1 stone.
That is very true. That is a lot of dead birds with 1 stone. Yeah, no, it snowed last night. It snowed like 2 days ago too. But there's snow outside and for whatever reason, the snow really aggravates my allergies. It's a whole moment.
So, how's it looking for the new hideout?
We're still looking into it. Mallory, the Patinal Forest, seems like it'd be an ideal place, though.
Perfect timing. We wanted to ask you about something, boss. I figured you'd need me to come along.
It's not about the hideout. It's about our job as the Sparrow Feathers.
We can't decide on which product to purchase. Mabo buns or curry buns? Which do you like?
Mabo.
Mabo curry buns.
Isn't that just your personal preference?
Nope, it's a rational decision I'm making as the boss of the Sparrow Feathers. This is just what the world needs. The sheer deliciousness that only this combination can bring. Sounds kind of subjective to me.
Fine, we'll go with that. You guys do all kinds of stuff.
That about sums up what we do. And we don't do jobs just for money.
I see.
That's why we make our actual living as merchants.
Well, mostly Agil does.
I'm the one who gives the okay on bringing out new products. All right, we'll be going back now.
Boss, try and drop by the Forest of Mallory if you can. Everyone's already gone there.
Will do. Take care, y'all.
Cool. Side quest.
Saray, look around you.
Yep. Oh, I don't have gold. Excuse me. Margaret, that ghastly little demon child, do you realize she's been saying that there are no seraphim in the sanctuary? Someone needs to teach her what happens to those who spout such vile blasphemy. That doesn't sound good. That makes 3. Gives me the shivers. A serial killer in our midst, and there's no closer to catching the culprit. The only clue is that the murders always occur on a moonlit night. Okay, so if I sleep at the inn, maybe we can do that side quest. Because I know that side quest is here. Oh, we're going fast. I just realized. Because I have the wind step. Da, 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 da. Yes.
This town's just bursting with sinister rumors, isn't it?
Yeah. No wonder they call it the Age of Chaos.
And a lot of them sure sound like the work of hellions.
If you're interested, why don't we investigate?
But we have someplace to be already.
Taking a little side trek isn't gonna kill us. It's not like we promised a specific time frame or anything. I'm with Rose.
Me too. It's a good opportunity. Why squander it?
Fair point. All right, let's do it. No regrets.
No regrets.
Except the regret of getting involved.
No regrets. Am I gonna sneeze? No. I guess you can't go wrong with buying a map. Ask yourself this, Saray. How many adventurers go without a good map in their pocket? It's true. That's right, none. They all get lost and died. Don't be them. An underground lake. Okay. Well, I guess we're not going to investigate that right now. Because I think I have spoken... Gosh darn it, what's the button? There we go. I think I've spoken to everyone I can. Yeah. Unless there's something in the sanctuary. I kind of figured there wasn't. Yep. Okay, I am going the right way.
Lastenbell didn't have a lord of the land either.
We did see a couple of seraphim, but it didn't look like they were living together.
I can't see them, but they've been here the whole time. To think that it's always been like that is just so friggin' scary.
Aww.
But in the past, seraphim were revered.
And in return, seraphim gave the people their blessing.
That's how it was in the era of coexistence?
Yep.
But the humans came to only believe in things that they could see.
That can't be helped. There's barely anyone who could see seraphim like Saray and Rose.
It's scary that there are people around you that you can't see, but at the same time, it's sad. It's sad that they can't be noticed even though they're there.
I wish everyone thought the same way you did, Rose.
Grumpy Dezel.
Do you want something?
Hey, you.
My name is Rose.
I know.
Then call me by my name.
Hey, Rose.
That's better. What do you want?
Quit doing stuff like that.
Stuff like what?
Riding on the shepherd's back like that.
Huh? Did you see that?
By chance.
Gah, that's why seraphim freak me out sometimes.
It's careless to entrust your body to someone like that.
That was part of the plan, to catch them off guard and then mow them down.
That's not something an adolescent girl should do.
Mowing people down?
Riding around on someone's back.
There's something wrong with a girl being carried on someone's back?
It's careless of you.
I told you it was part of the plan.
I give up.
I don't get it.
Dezel's just looking out for Rose. It's so cute. Dezel's an angry father.
Mikleo, look! It's just like what was in the Celestial Records.
It's the Leaning Tower. I didn't know that it would be this big.
Ah, that? We're gonna go look at it after I fight this boar.
Ready, Nick Leo? Blades of fight!
As you know, four hellions charge straight at you.
Watch out for its body slam. It'll bore right through you.
Shadow shot! How's this? Demon!
Not bad, not bad.
Surging current! Wind flow! Nose gate! Try this on! Sweet dreams!
I'm kind of angry at boar right now.
Yeah! Hang on! Nose gate!
So, how's Saray doing?
He's yet.
Don't underestimate them.
When peacocks threaten their foes, they recover health.
Jeez, what a pain!
You gotta give them physical ailments. Figure out why.
Ready? Hang on, everyone!
I don't know why and I don't know how, so I'm not gonna bother.
Hang on, everyone! All right! Renting Gale! Ready? Strike! Yeah!
I'm not gonna sit there and forget to level up this time because that would be bad.
I showed them.
I was hoping that would be something I could look at, but I guess not. We going fast! That's a bad hellion. I almost ran right into him.
Well, this doesn't look good.
We're in a foul place.
This feeling. We've been in places like this before.
It's a crucible of malevolence. They make hellions fight to make them nastier.
Venomization, a diabolical practice. It appears this ruin was built to do just that.
Who would make such a thing?
I don't know, but there are several places such as this on the Glenwood continent. I had thought they had all been sealed up, but... Looks like they're back in business.
This has to
Or
be
held off.
No
Yeah.
question about it.
We'll stop this.
Something's blocking our way.
It must be to keep outsiders from entering. It's most likely that only certain people are allowed inside.
Like Saray.
So, it's me alone, huh?
A solo fight. If it were me, I could ask for nothing better.
I should save before I do that. Is it gonna let me? Okay, it kicked me out.
There might be something nearby.
I'm gonna save and then I'm gonna attempt. Oh my gosh! 22. That's fun. I saved. Let's attempt this.
Focus, guys! Yeah! Ha. Ready? No escape! Shadow shot! Ready? Strike! How's this? Ha! No escape! How's this? Shatterfang! Flow and surge! Strike! Be gone! No escape! Ha! Let's get him! Yeah! Be gone! No escape! Yeah! Ha! Be gone! Strike! It's over! Too close! Strike! How's this? Shatterfang! Be gone! Be gone! No escape! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Be gone! Try this on! Yeah! It's time! Howling Blade! Full Tempest! Ha! Ready? No...
Ow.
Yeah. Flow and surge! Strike! How's this? Strike! Shadow shot! Rending Gale! Ready?
I hate that attack.
Yeah! Be gone! Strike! Flow and surge! Yeah! Be gone! No escape! Flow and surge! Ha. Ready? Strike! I will smite evil! Yeah! Be gone! No escape! Shadow shot!
So cool, I can't heal myself.
There! Yeah! Ha. Ready? Ha. Shadow shot! Be gone! Strike! Ha. Shadow shot! No escape! It's over!
That looks nasty.
Whoa! Ready? Too close! Be gone! No escape! Let's get him! Yeah! Ready? Strike! Shadow shot! Ha. Be gone! No escape! I'll give my all! Too close! Ha. Ready? Strike!
Keep trying to zoom out like
Ready?
that's gonna
No
actually work.
escape! Solid thrust! There! Yeah! Ha. Ready? Strike! I got you! I got you! Strike! It's over! Yeah! Ha! No escape! Yeah! Nope! Ha! Be gone! No escape! Yeah! Yeah! Ready? Ready?
Will you stop running away?
Be
Jeez.
gone! Yeah! Solid thrust! Ha! Be gone! Rending Gale! It's over! Ha! Ready? Strike! Rending Gale! Ha! Ha! Ready?
Jeez. You want to be like that? Fine. I'll heal.
There! Whoa! Ha! Be gone! Yeah! Shatterfang! Yeah! Ready? No escape! Yeah! Yeah! Ready? Yeah! How's this? Whoa! Ready? No, let's get him! Yeah! Be gone! No, ha, let's get him! Rending Gale! How's this? Be gone! Let's get him! Be gone! Strike! Yeah! Be gone! Strike! I got you! Ready? No escape! Solid thrust! Flow and surge! Strike!
Ooh, waiver.
Ha.
Hi.
It's time! Howling Blade! Full Tempest! Be gone! Solid thrust! Try this on! Yeah! Ready? No escape! Shadow shot! Ha. Be gone! No escape! Shatterfang! Ha. Yeah! Yeah! Ha. Ready? No escape! There! Yeah! Ready? Try this on! Yeah! I will smite evil! No escape! It's over! Ha. Be gone! Flow and surge! Shatterfang! Ha. Be gone! There! Shatterfang! Flow and surge! No escape! It's over! Ha. Ready? No escape! What a formidable opponent!
Woo! I did it!
All right. It's settled down a bit.
Nice.
All purified?
Somehow.
I'm so sorry for making you go through this by yourself. Yeah, we had it real rough too. Lila's been fortune-telling with her origami flower things.
Saray won't lose, Saray will win. Saray won't lose, just like that.
She left paper scraps all over. I had Meebo clean it up, though.
Of course, I believed in you, but it was just so...
Sorry for making you worry. Thanks, Lila.
No, it's fine. My fortune telling was right after all.
Yeah. Save so that I don't have to do that again. Because I don't get any experience for that. I just get stuff. Eh. Alright, where am I going? That way.
We can't afford to hold back. Let's do this!
It's an ancient bird hellion with scales like a dragon's.
This one's gonna be tough. Let's go. Try this on.
First force! Not bad, not bad.
Sweet.
Wind flow!
Yeah. Ready? No escape. Charge! Try this on. Be gone. No escape. I won't move. I can't lose. Take that shot. I won't lose.
White heat? What?
Let's get him. Solid rock. Rending gale.
I'm not blades of ice!
Nice job, Nickleo.
You've been slacking off, haven't you?
Great, it's raining. This sucks.
Not for me. It's nice and dry inside Saray.
That is whole new levels of creepy. Damn it! Why can't I be a dumb dry ghost too?
Damn it, why can't I be a dumb dry ghost?
We can't afford to hold back. Let's do this!
Be gone.
It's an orc farmer. This hellion used to be. I can guess, and I'd rather not know anyways. Thanks.
First forward together.
Ready? Prepare
Oh.
yourself! Chain luminescence!
That was cool.
Wonderful!
No escape. Let's get him. I will smite evil. Ready? No escape. Not yet.
Pressure, ice!
Bye!
Shadow shot. Freeze. Be gone. No escape. Shatter bang. Surging current.
Come
Ready?
with
Strike.
Wonderful! White heat?
Rid these demons!
What light? Take this!
Surging current. Ready? No escape. Purification complete.
Yeah. Lila leveled up. I need to go this way.
It seems there's a treasure chest near us.
No, really? And it had a peach gel in it.
This aroma.
Even out of the rain, it's still so cold.
Aww.
I'll say.
Damn.
They've gone from scary to annoying. Still, to think Seraphim sneeze just like we do.
How's this?
Not done yet. It appears we're going to get skunked. He sure seemed persistent.
How's this? I will smite evil.
Fangblade!
Howling Tail. Be gone. First force.
Fangblade! Raging Dawn! Flames of Crimson!
Am I bleeding?
Be gone.
Oh no. It was probably one of the hellions.
Be gone.
Ice Reaver! Pressure, ice!
Shatter bang. Freeze. No escape.
Dragon! How about that?
Be gone. I got you. This isn't over. I won't.
Well, that was actually pretty decent.
Must have been, if you're complimenting me.
I think it's funny that Miklio's like the only one that didn't sneeze. I think it's because he's a water seraph. But, like, just Dezel.
Whoa. This place is huge.
Yes, Pendrago is the largest city on the Glenwood continent.
Where can we find an inn?
I recommend the one directly in front of the plaza.
You sure know your way around.
Well, you know, I used to come here a lot.
Excuse me, check? Excuse me, check?
What a resplendent fountain. Yeah, it's one of the famous sights of Pendrago. I don't know a lot about it, but supposedly the water's piped in from afar through an underground channel.
Oh, I see. So much work for something that doesn't even serve any purpose. Stupid, simple humans.
Well, considering their lack of seraphic arts, I think their technological advancement is commendable.
Useless.
Plus the fountain is cool.
Pointless. Waste of effort.
It's also known as the Fountain of Wrath.
Wrath?
Why do they call it that? Something with the piping's all messed up. Every now and then.
Oh,
Like that.
Oh dear. Stupid, stupid humans.
poor Edna. Sergey! And a hellion.
Sergey!
He's one of the cardinal's subordinates. I tried to apprehend him, but well, you saw what he was like.
His movements were incredible.
You could tell, right? It was a hellion.
The Cardinal's underling is a hellion? Then...
The Cardinal's most likely a hellion.
Forgive me, sir. He's escaped into the shrine church.
It looks like it's true.
I believe he was likely a messenger of...
I'm cold. You can blather on inside.
Tell us the details after we find shelter from the rain, if you please. Our friends are feeling a bit chilly, and even a seraph can catch a cold. Friends?
Aww.
Not that you could tell, since you can't see them.
Forgive me. I should have been mindful of the Seraphim's presence. Let us head for the Knight's Tower. Your wife sure is considerate.
Yep.
They're still gonna go with it.
He still thinks they're married.
Dezel's jelly. Or actually, it's more like Dezel doesn't approve.
Wait, that's...
Yeah.
Is there any sort of rhyme or reason to what happens when you fuse equipment?
Great question, Rose. You're right. There's nothing random in the fusion of equipment.
Can you just tell it to me short and simple before I fall asleep?
Sure. First, the rules for fusing two different equipment skills only apply to those located in the same slot.
So it actually does matter which slot each skill is positioned at.
Yes, what skill is placed in which slot is a very important factor in equipment fusion.
So it's important to... Well, it's... Huh? Are you asleep?
I wonder if I should make a cosplay of Crimson, like, dressed as, Lila. I don't know how intricate that would end up being. Kind of depends on how much effort I want to put into it. That might be something to do on like a free time situation. Where am I going? I'm gonna go this way. Not something to check out. Okay. I think I was supposed to go to the west side, and I didn't. Is the stage a point of interest? No? Okay. I'm lost. I don't know what I'm doing. But also, like, the rain. Actually, I think I need to go here. There's treasure to be had.
Found it. Totally found it.
I believe in you, Edna. I found where I needed to go.
This should be a better place to talk.
Did everything go okay? Can we get in the church?
I
Yeah,
secured
about
the
that.
permissions, but after that last incident, I'm afraid we're likely under high scrutiny.
So what else is new? They weren't big fans of us in the first place.
Yeah, good point. We've got nothing to hide. Let's do it.
Look at that. Ever since Rose joined up with us, I feel like Saray's become so much more proactive.
Too bad it means that much more trouble for us.
Thank you.
It was my decision to begin with. And besides, I've really wanted to see the shrine inside the church.
There's something about you that reminds me of the Pope. He too would never hesitate to spare expenses for the sake of his people.
Oh boy, another masochist.
I see.
I've prepared lodgings for you. I pray that the Seraphim will also be able to rest well tonight.
But Captain, it's been 3 days since last we heard from Boris after his infiltration. I believe we should hurry.
Who's Boris?
The rain may be affecting our food supplies, but I shall prepare our famous Drago stew for you.
Aren't you the least bit concerned? He's your only brother.
I do not wish to burden you with my troubles any more than I already have. Please rest for now.
Sergei is like a proper knight captain.
It's a kind offer. Let's take it.
At the same time, like,
we will.
It is kind of
Thank
sad
you.
that he's like, I don't want to burden you guys, but at the same time, like, he is troubled because that's his brother. I do not wish to burden you with my troubles any more than I already have. Please rest for now. How am I supposed to rest? I'm just gonna leave.
Sergei sure seems like a good guy.
He is. Though I fear he may be a bit too genuine and sincere to command the knights.
I agree. I hope he has what it takes.
We've got plenty of worries of our own. Let's not get hung up on other people's issues.
Turtles! Can I have a maps? He betrayed us, turtles. It can't be forgiven. He better be waiting with his head ups in his shell. Oh yeah, I made a new maps. Thanks for your business. Now I can continue my journeys.
Saray, look around you.
I saw it first. I win. I see this first too. I win.
Phew, now that was a meal.
Oh, geez, Rose.
Learn some manners.
You sure can eat.
So can these two.
It was surprisingly good. I couldn't help myself.
Drago stew, 85 points.
That's not bad.
My policy is eat while you can. It's been ingrained in me since I was a kid. That's the law of a soldier.
A soldier, huh?
Soldier? Aren't you and your buddies in an assassin's guild?
Well, you know, it wasn't.
JJ! Well, hey, Crimson, I have class today, so I'll be lurky, but I love you and I hope you're having a lovely stream so far. I'm having a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite games, so lots of fun. Have fun with your class. Thank you for the 100 biddies. I super appreciate it. I adore you. Thank you for giving a shout out to JJ.
Always like this.
All the fun.
We used to be just a band of mercenaries. Not to brag.
I hope
but
your
they
classes
called us
go
the
well.
Best on the continent.
Is that right?
That's it for me. We've got a job to do tomorrow.
Is Rose's band of mercenaries the one you mentioned before?
Thank you.
The
Once
Wind
I'm done
Riders,
with
I believe.
them, I work later too.
I think I've heard of them.
Oh, what a time to be
The tale
alive.
said
Oh my
just
gosh,
100 of
JJ,
them
I'm
could
so
scatter
sorry.
a force of 20,000 men and capture 3 castles in one night.
It's okay. I'm trying to get like as much gameplay in
They
as
were a
I can
legendary band of
before my
mercenaries.
sibling gets home.
It's no wonder Rolance itself was
Because
their
then I gotta
primary
go do
employer.
stuff, so it's okay, I'll survive. I believe in you.
They sound crazy strong.
Tomorrow we're
Strong
doing a
and
writing
loyal.
stream.
To the point that even the Emperor of Rolance trusted them like his right-hand man. Isn't that right?
It's true. Was true. But then,
Sounds
the
like a
Imperial
blast.
family
I
of
enjoyed
Rolance
it the
ended up
last time I
stabbing
did
them in
it,
the back,
so
along with the very one I'm seeking vengeance against.
I kind of like having it as part of
The
something I can
Imperial
do.
family joined forces with Hellions?
Is it that surprising?
I guess not. People and Hellions aren't separate entities after all.
Guys, don't forget to take your vitamins. I
Very
almost
true.
forgot to take
You
mine.
can even consider them 2 sides of the same coin.
Vitamins, medicine, all
In
that
fact,
fun jazz.
If the cardinal's power is somehow linked to a hellion, things start to make sense.
It looks like Rose snuck out through the back.
Damn it,
Can't take
Rose!
my eyes off her for a second.
Hey, Dazzle!
I wonder if someone ordered an assassination.
Probably.
Ooh, and was she asked to do it by herself?
Either way,
How do
this
I
is
get
bad.
up there? Okay, gonna lurk for reals now. Love ya. I love you too. Have fun with class. I hope your work day goes well too. How do I get up there? Well, that's how. Recover damage received +8.
There must be herbs around here.
Yeah, I found it first.
There might be something nearby.
I promise, there are times where the treasure detection is really helpful.
What's wrong? Why are you all here?
We were worried! You snuck out!
That's what we want to know. Where were you going?
Oh, just taking a walk. Thought maybe I ate too much.
You don't have to follow every whim that pops into your head, damn it.
We thought you might have ditched us to go assassinate someone.
Not yet, silly. That comes later. It's from someone who lost their son in the war that just broke out. Kill the one who started the battle. The invasion was proposed to the Emperor about a year ago, in documents bearing the name of Pope Messedra.
Huh? You're gonna kill the Pope?
Hold on. How do you know someone didn't just use his name? I thought he went missing after all.
Maybe. But then again, maybe not. It's awfully close to the time he went missing. We'll have to investigate further.
And what if we find out that he's bad?
Then she's going to assassinate
the
him.
scattered bones slay it.
Even if it's the Pope?
The Pope, the Emperor, even the Shepherd. Oh, was that inappropriate?
I'm not a fan of that last part, it's true.
It isn't like we walk around all stabby. We make sure what kind of person our target is first.
I think I understand you better, Rose.
Do you now? Well, that's good.
I'm starting to understand, too. Why she bears no malevolence, that is.
Because she's as nuts as he is?
No, no.
Rose would certainly never tell a lie, that's for sure.
She was always that way. It's in her blood.
Was the Pope the type of person who would just up and start a war?
That's certainly not the impression of him we got from Sergei.
He's the de facto leader of a powerful country. He's probably got more layers than you'd think.
Now what am I supposed to do? I'm going to return to Sergei. See what Sergei has to say. Oh, I got my wind step. I am speed! No, returning to Sergei was not the plan. What's the plan? Take a look around the shrine church. Oh. I am speed! Very true. Whee! Go fast! Oh, I lost my wind step.
Well, that was easier than we thought.
This looks like an auditorium of sorts for the believers.
Sure looks like a small crowd.
We'll walk. I lied. I'm gonna run.
Can you tell me the names of the seraphim who hold the utmost power, known as the Five Lords?
Museth! Oh, and Eumacia!
Hyanawa and Amanok!
Correct. Now, can you tell me the name of the last one? The seraph who's worshipped here at the shrine church?
Maltalis.
Maltalis!
Ah! I knew it!
That's right. Maltalis is the seraph who has given the entire Glenwood continent his blessing.
The seraph worshipped at the shrine church is Maltalis?
The Five Lords, huh? Big movers and shakers.
I bet Maltalis would know something about how to stand against the Lord of Calamity. He's got to.
Little
Is
do
he
you
really
know.
all that?
Well, he's the leader of the 5 lords after all.
You must be Soray. Welcome to the Rolance Church headquarters. I heard you were to visit. Please, come on in.
See, I don't know about the other 4 lords, but I know of Maltalis. We all know of Maltalis.
It's more magnificent than I'd even imagined.
The architecture definitely dates it to the height of the era of Asgard.
Glad to see you're impressed, but don't let your guard down.
Well, everybody that was with us for the end of Tales of Isaria knows who Maltalis is.
This inscription concerns the trial of the shepherd, and the spiritual powers he obtains upon clearing it.
Could the spiritual powers
be real?
Buzz, 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 buzz. Be real, real bees. Oh, bees everywhere.
I love Lila.
Just possibly. It's like the lettering's meant to tell us something.
But it's all gibberish. It must be some kind of code.
Well, it does involve sensitive info. Maybe there's a hint to crack the code somewhere.
Hey, what does the big rock thing say?
I'm afraid I'm not really sure. The inscription is written in some sort of cipher, and the key to interpreting it is handed down only from pope to pope.
So, I guess we'll have to get the Pope to read it then, huh?
What does the big rock thing say? Ooh! That is a strong malevolence. Uh-oh.
Something's wrong. Let's get out of here.
I don't feel so good. What is going on?
It's a Hellion's domain. Just like when we fought Heldalf.
Not the children!
They're alive, but...
It's like they've been turned to stone.
Not the children! I'm sorry, I'll come back for you later. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm going back. There was a save point. I saw it. No! There was a save point! I hope I don't have to fight her. I haven't saved recently.
Going home already, Shepherd?
Yes.
Huh?
I am Cardinal Fortin of the Church of Rolance.
You're a bitch.
This domain, is it yours?
Ah, so you can still move. Why don't you lend me your powers?
No.
For the sake of the people, of course.
No. You're a
They asked me the same thing in Highland.
I hardly think myself the equal of a Philistine like Bartlow.
Sounds like something a Philistine would say.
Charming, but sticks and stones and so on, young lady.
Boo.
Ooh, she's good.
I have but one wish. To see my empire overcome this tumultuous era of chaos. A task only possible if the people are united.
What are you doing with your hands?
But Rolance is far too expansive to unify the people through mere patriotism alone. Shepherd, do you know exactly what it is that the state has used for eons to keep an entire country in line?
Elixir?
Is it faith?
Yes.
Oh.
Faith.
Faith and
It is
elixir.
the belief in their own salvation that inspires in people the greatest sense of unity when they band together against outsiders who share different values. Meaning that my church itself should serve as the cornerstone for all of Rolance.
Maybe in your mind.
It is
We
but the
know you're a
vision of one
hellion.
who would guide the people. With the name and power of the Shepherd, more people than ever can be brought to salvation.
Good intentions, but very
And you
malicious,
should
so you have
cooperate with the
malevolence.
Knights. Wouldn't that really be what's best for everyone?
I would welcome their efforts if they would simply bend to my will and do as I command.
And this is why she's bad.
Even if they are a pack of loutish meatheads who can't figure out that their Pope abandoned them.
Wait a minute, the Pope just ran away? You didn't have him locked up?
I am not a street thug, child. The Pope, Macedra, I should say, left of his own accord, abandoning his duty to both the Empire and his followers. What, pray tell, would you call such a man?
Why did your domain freeze the children?
Pretty irresponsible, if what you're saying is true.
Irresponsible is one word, and still there are so many fools out there who trust in such a coward. The Knights, for example. In order to bring the people together, we must find Macedra and give him his due punishment.
Punishment?
Yes, the same punishment that befell those uncivil enough to mistrust me.
Then we have a problem. We need the Pope to tell us the meaning of the inscription.
Why? Cooperate with me and it won't be necessary.
Why? Do you know the inscription?
I need to know. No matter what.
Yeah, see? Screw off. Be gone! Shoot, shoot!
See. That's very unfortunate. So then you mean to say...
You talk too much.
What the...
My body! That you reject my vision!
Saray!
Nice!
Let's go!
We're leaving.
Oh, is she still talking? Yeah. She had a lot to say. Well, what's the point in that?
What?
Oh, she tried to smack them, but we got out.
They broke through my domain and connected with the Seraphim, if only just for a moment. Oh, will I relish this.
Do you have a hot dog? You gonna relish the hot dog? Yeah!
They disappeared? What the hell was that?
It's called the Spectral Cloak.
You've been practicing in secret, haven't you? That was sweet.
We'll talk later. We've got to flee to the Knight's Tower.
I'm fleeing.
Saray,
Also, hi, Kimu.
look carefully at the ground.
She talks so much. So, like, you can kind of put two and two together that she's a Medusa. Because, one, her domain is really heckin' strong, so that's part of it. So you know she's a hellion. And then two, she turned everyone to stone when she activated her domain. So she's a Medusa. And I hate Medusa fights.
Got a dash. You go on ahead.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
It's a man.
The Pope
Hi,
fled
Sergey.
of his own volition?
I'm sorry I couldn't get more details. We were sort of running for our lives.
No, that is more than enough. I'm just relieved that you weren't captured.
Thanks for saving us back there.
It's the least I could do.
Seraph Mikleo, my humble admiration for your bravery.
Can you?
It's nothing, really.
Can you
It
hear?
is nothing. All you did was blind her temporarily.
We have to do something about her domain.
I'm curious about
Those
Sergey.
powers might help. Let's get the Pope to decipher that inscription.
I don't wanna.
That'll be tough if we don't know where he is. The Knights have been hunting him for a year now with no success.
Yeah, but they were assuming the whole time that the cardinal was behind the disappearance. Guess
upset
what?
that her
I think
blades
I know
don't
where
match.
Popadope might be.
Popadope?
You do?
The village of Gadadin on the southern part of the continent. We won't know for sure until we check it out, of course.
How did you get that information?
Well, let's just call it an industry secret. You know how it is.
Of course. I should have expected no less from the wife of the shepherd. Let us send a search team to Gadadin.
Can we tell him the truth?
Hold on a minute. The cardinal already expects that our side will be searching for the Pope.
A highly visible squadron of knights would essentially be a bright pink arrow pointed straight at him.
However,
we can operate covertly in small numbers. Let us handle Gadadin.
But that's far too much to ask.
Don't worry about it. I want to go there anyways.
Chill, Captain. We got this. What is it they say? Pope springs eternal? Abandon Pope! All ye who, don't go to Gadadin.
Oh, Lila!
Okay, settle down.
My thanks, gentle shepherd.
Actually, as for what you can do in return, do you suppose we could get a pass to Rolance? I might be mistaken for an ally of the Highland Army otherwise.
I have seen for myself the quality of your character. I shall prepare it immediately.
Yay!
Thank you. That's a load off my mind.
There is something I would like to impart to you as well. Would you please step outside for a moment?
No! I don't like this. Man. I don't wanna. Hate learning the lion's howl. Give me the tiger
Do you
roar.
remember the art I used when we fought against one another?
Yes. It hurt.
That is the lion's howl, an art passed down through our band of knights. I and my younger brother Boris are the only ones alive who know it.
And you're about to bestow it upon me.
But now I pass it to you as well. Wilt thou accept?
Yes.
No.
Back off! Back off!
Well, you're a fast learner. I must apologize that this feeble art is all an oaf like me may offer you.
Don't say that. It's incredible. Thank you so much, Captain Sergei.
That wasn't as hard as I thought it would be.
You and I stand as equals. You may call me Sergei.
Then you may call me Saray.
Saray.
Now hug.
I am loath to believe the Pope just abandoned his post on us. But I also sense that there may be another side to this unfortunate story.
I understand.
How old
We'll
is
find
Saray?
the Pope and come back with the truth.
Godspeed.
Good on ya. Ad Astra Abasosk.
Rose, was it the scattered bones who found the information on the Pope?
Maybe. Seeing where the church's money was going gave us a little hint.
That's what I thought. You guys sure don't operate in the same way that the knights do.
Of course not. An assassin's guild can't function without proper intel.
Saray is 17.
Assassins. Right.
This is a lot for a teenager. How old is Rose?
Here is your pass, Saray.
Rose is 18.
Thank you. Our travel should be much easier now.
It's really
I wish
easy
it
to
were
figure
so,
out how old
but we've
Mikleo
received
is,
word
'cause
that
he's the same
Byroclef
age
Ridge,
as
which
Saray.
leads to Gadadin, has been blocked by rock slides.
I wasn't paying
We could have
attention.
been on the ridge right now.
If only we'd been a little bolder.
I hate it here.
My punchline!
Ha!
What's the plan?
You'll have to go through Cambria Caverns, south of the Meadow of Triumph.
I need to go there anyways.
An underground passage, huh? No problem.
That's your thing, isn't it?
You bet it is.
There's a lord of the land there that I need to take care of. We shall rein in the cardinal as best we can. I pray that you all remain safe from harm. Do my best. I don't know why I'm going the long way. I'm going the long way. I have an hour. We can get a lot done in an hour or two. I have 2-ish hours actually. It's the hellion from before.
A hellion? Is it one of the cardinal's guards?
Saray, we have to trick the guard into thinking we're not here somehow.
Oh, just barely made it.
We made it.
Think we lost the cardinal with that?
I sure hope so.
Food for thought.
I ate too much today. My stomach's all achy. Oh my, you shouldn't stuff yourself like that, Rose. By the way, I was curious. Can seraphim get upset stomachs or gain weight? To say it in a fairy tale sort of way, your thoughts become reality. What's that supposed to mean? We won't gain weight from consuming calories, but we will from thinking, I'll gain weight if I eat this much.
Whoa! So does that mean you'll be okay as long as you don't think like that?
No. Denying the reality of things leads to malevolence. A seraph must not be detached from reality. So at the end of it all, you could say we're the same as humans.
This is so confusing.
Pretty much, it's mind over matter, but at the same time, they can't sit there and lie to themselves about, like, food consumption and things, or else malevolence, and they'll turn into dragons, and that's not good. Ooh. Actually, let's put it on this one. I need to go to the triumphant plains.
You were just waiting for me to pick you up, weren't you?
Thank you for finding gold.
Don't underestimate.
Blaze away! Ice Reaver! Back off!
Bang blade! Now's my chance. Deliver dragon! Surround me!
I got you! Yeah! Strike! First house! Put this on defense! Okay.
Let's do our best!
Healing power! Nope!
Eyes on the prize!
Defensive maneuver! Okay.
Flame! Go, my children! Flame security!
Yeah!
Got it!
Yeah!
Ready? Prepare yourself! Jade luminescence!
I don't really think you needed to use an art, but okay.
Go on, this is
Be
it!
gone! Courage! Next, I will slide evil!
Pyrogenic rain!
Be gone! Go!
You know, you're pretty mature, Rose.
Coming from you, I'm not sure how to take that.
What now, Edna?
And you're such a kid.
Sweets are so good, especially after a battle.
Whose health is low? Oh. I guess I don't have anyone on Sweets production. Or like, what is the support talent? You make snacks. I don't really need health maintenance. That's more important for dungeons and stuff.
It's around here, right? The caverns or whatever, I mean.
Cambria Caverns. He said they were south of the Meadow of Triumph.
South. Not south. That way.
We can't afford to hold back. Let's do this.
Like the boar, this hellion does a headlong rush attack.
At you, Brutor? Strike! I got you!
Blaze the pike.
Ready?
Ice Reaver.
Lion's Howl!
Oh.
This isn't over! This isn't over! I'll get her now!
What?
Take
that!
Raging tide! Sleeping don't let
Well done.
Ready? No escape!
That's pretty good, right? Right on!
Lunar Streak.
Be gone! Torrent
Strike. Not bad, not bad.
Strike! Shatterfang! Current! Fluid surge! Fluid surge! Be gone!
Pyrogenic pressure, right? May your soul freeze! I can't believe there are so many hellions out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of hellions out there. But I also very much need to fight them and not dodge so many of them because leveling up is very important.
Yeah, let's get him!
Freeze Lancer.
That's pretty good, right?
Well done.
Get on! Back off!
Let's try it!
Hang on, everyone! Strike!
Smite the malevolent.
Not yet!
Here
Resilient! Be gone! No escape! Be gone! Shatterfang! Ready?
Sleeping dragon!
Strike! Renting!
I can't believe there are so many hellions.
Sorry to cut you off, but you already said that. We heard you the first time. Where am I going? I don't know, but I need to go this way because I see a couple of things that need to be collected.
There may be some herbs out here. Be on the lookout for them.
I can sense the ancient tongue. We're near one.
This game very much makes it known when you're supposed to be in an area or not because they'll make it so that the malevolence is really strong in that area and it's a pain in the butt to deal with.
Okay, here goes!
Whoa! That thing it's riding on looks way fun!
Fun? That's a hellion, you know.
It shoots stuff out from its artillery, so be careful.
Sweet dreams!
Blaze the bike. Ice Reaver.
Ready? Strike!
I better get it together.
Try this! Hang on, everyone! Be gone! I got you! Try this on! Hang on, everyone!
Wind flow.
Ready? Strike! How's this? It's time! Howling Blade! Full Tempest! When it's go time, we go all the way!
Overdo it and you'll just exhaust yourself, Saray.
All things in moderation, as they say.
Windsteppin'. Hello? I've heard the situation from Sergei. The entrance to Cambria Caverns is just ahead. It's a little small, but once you're inside, it gets much bigger, so take care not to get lost. I will do my best. Where's Rose? Oh, there she is.
Do you really think we can get through this way?
Don't worry.
You sound pretty confident. Is it just a hunch?
No. I can feel the wind.
There's nothing in the universe cooler than a secret passageway.
Especially one underground.
Totally! A maze of twisty little passages with exits galore to who knows where.
Like the back of a waterfall, or the bottom of an old abandoned well.
Yes! Nickleo gets it!
Someone gets it because I don't.
I don't want to get it.
Boys just love things like this. In this case, I don't know about boys so much as...
Children, right?
Let them have their fun! Where is it that I need to go? That way. I just ran right underneath that. Not those. Not this.
This aroma.
I found it first. Oh, it's not gonna let me do that. Alright, gotta go the other way. It feels so quiet. Oh! Well. That's great.
It seems there's a treasure chest near us.
Oops, that's not what I meant to do.
Wait, that's...
I got money.
Saray, look around you.
Don't we love it when we get lost in caverns and we don't know where we're going, so you just kind of explore because it's fun?
We can't hold back! We will win! Be gone!
It'll retreat and emit sonic waves.
3 strikes and you're out. Whoops, wrong bat.
Ready? Focus on defense! Ready? I got you! Ready to go!
Unleash your hidden power.
Resilient aim! Ready? Alright, let's spread out! Okay.
Release my spirit.
No escape! How's this? Lion's Howl! Be gone! Strike!
Release my spirit.
Resilient! Ready? No escape! Sweet dreams! Let's take them all down! No escape! I got you! Shadowfang! Hang on, everyone!
Vermilion Crescent. I can get changed without making a sound.
That's nice to know, Rose. Thanks for sharing, I guess? Was it needed to be shared?
There might be something nearby.
Really? Couldn't tell. Alright, fine, I won't fight you. Am I going the right way? Yeah, seems like it. Okay.
seems there's a treasure chest near us.
This is gonna crumble. Yep.
Wait, that's... Saray, look around you.
Finding all this stuff. I'm lost in the cavern. How do I get back up? There it is.
There might be something nearby.
Excuse me, Rose, you're kind of in the way. Not where I was expecting to go, but that's where I went. Aw, man! Going down. This one's gonna plummet, isn't it? I knew it. Hate it here. Have a great time, everyone. IRL stuff. I'll try and check back later. No worries, Spittlebuggy. Life always comes first. Thanks for hanging out. Never getting out of here. Progression will never happen. Don't like fighting the ghosts.
It seems there's a treasure chest near us.
It's so hush-hush in this cavern.
I remember this place was in the Celestial Record.
Was it? What are you trying to look at? Whoa.
Whoa! What the hell?
That's a big shrimp.
A fossil, one hopes.
Holy crap! This thing was alive once?
I want to catch it and fry it.
It looks terrifying. You don't think this is a hellion?
There are fossilized hellions? No way!
It's not outside the realm of possibility.
It's not outside the realm of sashimi either.
Oh my gosh.
So, which side's the head?
The left?
We can't even tell where the head is? Ugh, this thing's freaktastic.
No matter. A shrimp's head and tail are equally delicious.
I can't even make sense of this thing.
Edna, are you
Shrimp.
hungry?
Starts with S. Look it up.
You can't even tell where the head is? I think that's the head.
I just saw a monolith written in ancient tongue.
Why is it facing the wrong way? Where do I need to go? This way.
Hey, isn't that the Earth in Historia?
Red Irish gem, Feyre. The lady is important.
Was the author of the Celestial Record a village chief? It looked like he was founding a village or something. Hey, Mikleo, I was wondering, you don't suppose he was a shepherd? If the shepherd was the one who wrote the Celestial Record, a lot of things start to make sense, and... Mikleo?
Oh, sorry. What did you just say?
Whoa, I've never seen you space out like that. You feeling okay?
Oh no, poor sick Leo.
Really?
Nice.
Not nice.
No, but seriously, you all right? Should we sit down for a bit?
I'm fine. I just got caught up in my thoughts. For some reason...
Quite surprising. A shepherd in an age like this. I think you've surprised us.
I think you're the only one surprised.
My name is Saray, and you are?
I am Syndra, Shepherd Saray. Are you the Seraph of Lastenbell? I once was, yes.
Can we ask you to give your blessing again? There's no seraph enshrined at the sanctuary in Lastenbell, and strange things are happening.
That's of no relation to blessings.
Ooh.
How can you be sure?
Because I have used the bells in the belfry as my vessel.
I see. So the sanctuary in Lastenbell is nothing more than a figurehead.
In any case, it is no longer my concern. I no longer have the capacity to understand humans. Please, leave me be. May we ask you what happened? I'm sorry.
Okay, bye.
We can't force her to talk.
But something's up. We should do some research.
You're right. Let's go ask people in Lastenbell. They may know something.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that later. Oh, hello! That's dangerous.
There should be a vista point nearby.
There is? Ah. Tiny luminescent organisms.
Wow. Indeed. It's mesmerizing how the lake's surface sparkles.
Bioluminescence, do you think?
Dazzle?
Don't ask me. I can't see it.
So even you have some gaps in your animal knowledge.
I've heard of organisms too small to be seen that give off light in the dark. Maybe this is their habitat.
Whoa, thousands and thousands of tiny creatures.
But each one lives only a few days before winking out.
Only a few days? But they shine so bright.
Biodoom, in essence.
Really?
Oh, that was inappropriate. I'm sorry.
Lila!
Don't be. Better than ending on a sour note.
Oh, a left field success from Lila.
My first one, it feels like. I suppose it took going deep underground for Edna to finally cave.
And
Lila!
I take it back.
The rare, sparkling Lila. Note its brief lifespan.
Even you, Dezel? Aww.
That's really pretty. I haven't actually seen that before. I've played this like 3 times. Nah, but the whole comment about Dezel not being able to see it is important for later on. How do I get to wherever it is that I'm trying to get to? It's over there. I am lost in the caverns. I mean, I have a map, but at the same time, like, I'm lost. Damn it, wrong way. Damn it!
Give it your all!
Radiant heat! If that huge snake bites you, it'll suck you dry.
Suck. Wait, what? I will slide evil! Fluency!
Vampire snake!
Try this on! Fluent surge! Shitterbang! Not yet!
Gotcha!
That's the go!
This is it!
That is not what I meant to do. Resistant to walk.
Burn away! Purgatory of flame!
Be gone! Not yet!
Burn!
Nope!
Out of the way!
Ready?
Armatize again?
How's this? Alright! Sweet! Ready? No escape! How's this? Sonic thrust! Fluent surge! Ready? Lord of Wind!
There we go.
Strike! Dragon Blade Fearless Shark!
Come hither.
Come forth! Gale Phantom!
Come hither.
Fear my wind! Hang on, everyone!
Pretty good,
Come
right?
forth! Gale Phantom! You feel it? Soul Resonance!
Do you think a day when Seraphim and humans can coexist will come?
They can't even see us.
But what if they could?
They still can't hear us.
Well, what if they could see and hear us too?
We have different values.
Oh, right.
That's a good point.
Aw.
Give it your all! Ready? Shutterbang! Ready? No escape! Sonic Rock! Yeah! Not yet! Sweet dreams!
Is that all?
Try this on! Let's get him!
Go under!
Defensive maneuvers! Ready? Let's get him! Hang on, everyone! Purification complete!
Clearly, I need to heal Rose. Boink.
There must be herbs around here.
I found them, it's okay.
I think we're close to the exit. Probably.
Did you feel it too?
I don't know, I wasn't paying attention.
The wind? I think I kind of did.
Save because I'm probably gonna have to fight some big nasty as soon as I get out of the cavern.
Hell yeah, we're home free! Looks like I spoke too soon.
Kind of figured I was gonna fight some big beast.
Howling deluge!
What are you?
What is it doing in a place like this?
Is it bird or beast?
All hail the
last
sun.
thing we need is a bunch of flocking griffins. Rose, a nice young lady really shouldn't. Come on. I didn't mean it like that. Choose your birds more carefully.
Ready? Earthborn! Rising sand! Dry out! Take this!
Sleeping dragon!
Begone! Echo shock! Take this! Ready? Go!
Phoenix Glimmer dragon! I can't.
Come to my side! Rock cell! Rock fire! Rising sand!
Release my spear!
Begone! Echo shock! Focus on defense!
Yeah.
Purify the earth! Let's spread out! Dry out! Rock ringer! Rising defensive maneuvers!
Rockbringer!
Begone! Begone! Rising sand! Echo shock! Take this! Ready? Charge!
Radiant heat! Very well.
Rising sand! Dry out! Rock ringer! Begone!
Glimmer dragon!
Come to my side! Rock shower! Echo shock! Take this!
Fade
Let's spread out!
That's not what I meant to do.
Charge! Echo shock! Rock ringer! Ready? Go! Purify the earth! Fairy circle! Dry out! Take this! Rising sands!
Sleeping dragon!
Begone! No escape! Hit!
Air pressure!
It won't end here! Hit!
Don't mess
This isn't over! It won't end here!
with me!
Don't push yourself, Lila!
You're outrageous! Get ready! Sleeping dragon!
Strike!
Don't
Glimmer! Solid rock!
Sleeping dragon!
Try this on!
With me!
That's not good.
I won't lose this time!
Time you learn some humility! Air pressure!
There!
Splitting torrent!
You're right, Nikleo! It can't end
Crap.
here! I won't lose this time!
Lord of Wind! Gather and grant me protection! Feel it!
And no presence! I can't lose! This isn't over! I won't lose!
Feel it! I was just sleeping. That felt good. Gather and grant me protection!
Rose! Focus on defense! Nope!
Yeah, hello, little help? Unleash your hidden power! Imbue me! Let's do our best!
Ready? Yeah!
I'll hold the prize!
We're so close.
Ready? Yeah!
Come on, damn it, I can't. Quickly,
Offer your protection! Lose rock delay! This one's tough. Blue flurry! On defense. Break down! Blue flash! Let's take them all down! Break down! Blue flurry! Open the floodgates! Bubble arrow! Break down! Burst! Rose, get down! Lord of Wind! I need a hand! Blue flurry! Break down! As your assault! Burst! Burst!
What happened?
Rose!
Embarrassing.
Defensive maneuvers!
Hey,
Break down! As your assault!
grant me protection!
Open the floodgates!
Barrier.
Bubble arrow! Break down! Edna, be careful! Blue flurry! Saints arrow!
Do our best! Eyes on the prize! Unleash your hidden power!
Blue flurry! Break down! Break on through!
Unleash your hidden power!
Don't push yourself, Lila! Ha! Be gone! Offer your protection!
This
Back off! Hit! This isn't over! It won't end here! Resilient aim! Offer your protection! Healing pep, what should I do? You alright, Mikleo? We charge! Destroy! Ready? Die! I will smite evil! Destroy! Die! Ha! Ready? Renting Gale!
Glimmer
How's
Dragon!
this?
Go under!
Destroy!
There.
We're survivors, no matter the odds.
God, that fight sucked.
You are not ready to command the wind yet.
I hate the wind. Huh?
Oh, Edna.
You alright?
I just slipped is all.
Boy, we can't take Lady Edna anywhere, can we?
Lady Meebo is talking.
God, that fight. Ah! Wait, I'm not ready. A lot of my people died. Okay, now I can fight.
Stand strong! Howling Deluge!
An aged strength. Like it sounds, it's quite old. I'm getting old just listening to your explanation.
No. Yeah, let's get him! How's this?
No.
Be gone! I got you! Solid thrust! I'm counting on you all! Nope!
Okay.
Ha! Be gone! No escape! Focus!
Release my spirit.
Be gone! No escape!
Barrier!
Ha! Ready? Solid thrust! It's time! It won't end here!
Gather and grant me
This
protection!
isn't over! Don't push yourself, Lila!
Barrier!
Whoa! Yeah! Be gone!
Gather
No
and grant me
escape!
protection!
Let's take them all down! Hang on, everyone!
You're not done yet. I command you.
Yeah! Be gone! Shadowfang! How's this? Let's get him!
Vermilion Crescent. Molten Wall.
Humility.
Why is it that they are struggling
Rogue.
so much?
Air pressure.
Vermilion Crescent. Pillars of Flame.
Be gone! It's time!
Humility.
Howling Blade! Full Tempest!
I command you.
Be gone! Solid Rock! Fluid
Predatory
Surge!
Flame.
Ready?
Burn away.
Gotcha. Awake is better.
Be gone! Back off! It's over!
This is trouble.
Ha,
Time to
ha,
learn some humility.
ha.
Air pressure.
Ready? No escape! Back off!
Vermilion Crescent.
Ha, ready? Try this on! Crimson Edge!
Blood.
Solid Thrust! Strike! I won't lose! I can't lose next! Ha,
Obviously, I'm a little under-leveled for this area.
this isn't over!
Burn away.
Now! Be gone!
Well,
Very true. A win is a win. But man, that sucked.
wait, that's...
And I'm like really low on health items. Yeah, I knew it.
Shall we begin?
Yeah!
Let's get them before they fly away.
That goose flew the chicken coop.
That doesn't quite make sense. Shadow shot, let's get him! How's this?
What level are you guys?
Well done.
25?
Be gone! Focus! Shadowfang! Hang on, everyone! Be back, focus on defense!
Yeah, I got
I will smite you!
Unleash your hidden power.
Strike! Renting Gale! Offer your protection! Hang on, everyone! Healing power! Focus on defense! Be gone!
That's not what I meant to do.
Be gone! No escape!
I can get changed without making a sound.
Okay, and what level is everybody? 21? 18? I'm a little under-leveled for this area.
Saray, look around you.
Where do I want to go? That way. Okay.
There might be something nearby. It seems there's a treasure chest near us.
Is it because there's a boss dude up here? No, it's just a crucible. There is a boss dude up here, but there's also a crucible. That's why there's that save point. I want to go this way. This bird is super trying. Here.
Be on your guard.
Solid thrust! Yeah!
Let's go under.
Let's get him!
Here, take this.
Solid thrust! Be gone! Yeah! Lord of Water! Blue Flurry! Breakdown! Let's armatize! Open the floodgates! Bubble arrow!
We already armatized. What are you talking about?
Don't celebrate just yet.
Burst!
You sure are strange, Saray.
Really? Definitely weird.
You're also really...
Not weird.
Wait, there is a combo.
Sure is dry way out here.
Yeah, it's a remote region like Elysia, but it looks hard to hunt or even farm here.
It amazes me that people can even live in a place like this.
Those humans sure are tougher than they look.
Maybe they have some sort of special local product?
Maybe. Anyway, our next destination is Gadaden.
Are we going in the right direction, Rose?
Yeah. It should be around the edge of this cliffside road. I think we're almost there.
Okay, let's hurry before we get attacked again.
Okay, but like also I really need to level up, so I'm gonna fight these. Come here! Really? I need to go. I want to check this way first. Come here! Fight me!
Stand strong!
Lord of Fire!
Oversized chicken.
Even their weapons are just huge.
But that makes them slow to move. Don't get caught by those claws.
Vermilion Crest.
Hang on, everyone!
Well done.
Back off!
That's the end of that. We cannot avoid this battle.
Be gone!
Crimson Ray!
I mean,
Lions yeah! Strike! Reaver! How's this? I need ha! No escape!
Grant me protection.
Weak! Absent
You're pretty
healing!
much screwed.
Rampaging giant!
Kind
Fly
will
out!
swing at you.
Be gone!
Molten Wall! Pillars of Flame!
Come to my
Vermilion
zone!
Crescent!
Purify the earth! Very
Versatile,
circle!
not versatile, at least. Beat the
Not
crap
yet!
out of it.
Not half bad. Go under!
Fly out! Take this! Rising sands!
I showed them.
I really need materials. No, we're fine.
Looks like there's something nearby.
Sorry, that was an attachment? Sidekick mask. That's fun. I might need to do some leveling off stream sometime.
We can't afford to hold back. Let's do this. Ready?
Take leech or leech. It's dangerous to fight them in close combat.
So what's the difference between the leech and leecher? Ready? No escape. Ready, Gale. Wind throw. Let's get him. It's now. This isn't over. It won't end here. It won't end here. Disappear.
Me realizing that I have no SP to be able to actually attack.
Defensive maneuvers.
Very well.
Ready? Sweet dreams. How's this? Smite them malevolent. Be gone. Select rocks. Resilient aim. Lion's howl. Charge. Ready? Flow and surge. Renting gale. Be gone. Try this on. All right. All right. Be gone. I'll give my all. This isn't over. This isn't sweet dreams. What a formidable opponent.
Yeah, but I also need to fight it so that I can level up.
Give it your all. Be gone.
Take this.
It's time. Howling blade. Full tempest. Sweet dreams.
Right on. Radiant heat.
How's my all?
Take this.
Damn it.
Lion's howl.
Resilient aim. Vermilion crescent. Scorched back. Pillars of
Ready?
frost.
Renting gale. How's this?
Don't let
I need a hand. Be gone. That did it. Lose off the leg. Don't slack on the bench. Break down. Break on through. Open the floodgates. Bubble arrow. Burst. That's what the shepherd can do.
Now we're
I don't
near
think we've checked that monolith out yet.
We're near a town, so I can get items again. Which is important, because I need items.
Outsiders! Hey, didn't they say in school not to use that word?
Boop.
Oh, oops. Hello.
Is this new-looking building your school?
That's right. The village chief built it. For the future of the village.
A school.
It's a bit plain compared to the rest of the town, don't you think?
Are you kidding? We didn't have anything like this in my village.
We always did want one, though.
I'm Slenge, the chief of this village. What brings you two all the way out to our tiny corner of the continent?
Oh, well, we're looking for...
We're here for work, researching what people eat out on the frontier. Stuff like that.
Your efforts are very much appreciated. Thankfully, our village has been spared the ravages of famine.
In fact, it's even more bountiful than in years past.
That's good.
And we have the chief to thank for it. If there's anything we can help you with, don't hesitate to ask.
You say that like you own the place.
Seems like a nice village.
Sort of reminds me of Alicia.
Saray.
I know. We'll split up and try and find some clues about the Pope.
Dun dun dun. Points of interest. The school.
What's wrong, Edna?
Nothing. Just thinking about how Meebo insulted me earlier.
Oh, I see.
Her umbrella
Anyway,
extends.
it looks like there's some kind of ruin in the back of the village, and it's a pretty darn old one to boot.
How old do you think?
It's probably from before the Dark Period. It might be even older than I am.
You don't mean from the temperance of Avarost? If that's true, then this is an incredible find.
Is it?
Wait. Hey, Edna? How old are...
What?
Never mind.
Never ask a lady about her age. I'll show you, Meebo. You'll rule the day.
Gadadin sure seems like a happy village.
Indeed, everyone here is so positive and active. They're all like family here.
But I still can't feel the blessing of the Seraphim.
True. The guardian seraph is missing. It seems that this place used to be rather barren. But it looks like the current chief was able to overcome these issues.
I can tell the people here respect him a whole lot.
I imagine they do. This would normally be such a desolate environment.
Yeah, not just anyone could pull that one off.
Rose, is something the matter?
Sorry, I was just thinking out loud. I'll tell you more once I've had time to investigate.
I think the chief's the Pope that ran away.
What's wrong? You look troubled.
It's strange. This village seems rather prosperous.
And that's a problem?
The issue is why.
Their source of income.
Right. The land in this area is infertile and hardly fit for farming or hunting.
It's far from any major thoroughfare, and they have no local products to export.
Isn't that weird? You'd think a place like this would be the first to fall victim to famine.
There must be some explanation for all this.
That's not good. There's got to be some reason that a village like this is as prosperous as it is. Let's look into it, but be careful we don't arouse the suspicion of the villagers. They seem edgy around us. What are those guys doing here? Causing chaos! Always. What do you think we're doing here? We're exploring. There's things to see. I imagine a village such as this would be a comfortable home for a lord of the land. Sadly, though, it appears there are none here to give their blessing. You don't think they're here for the chief, do you? Might be. No. What do you think?
There's a ruin!
I wanted the thing!
You think they came here to apprehend the chief?
They better not. Without our chief, Gadadin is doomed.
There's no cause for worry yet. As long as they stay out of the Pure Land, we'll be all right.
Malevolence!
Let's go.
There was malevolence coming from the chief. Why?
I bet we'll find the answer inside that ruin.
Turtles! Until I find him, my journeys won't end. Even if it takes 10,000 years. Oh yeah, I made a new maps. Yes. Thanks for your business. Now I can continue my journeys. We can't let outsiders into the Pure Land. I'm sorry, rules are the rules. That's fine.
Wait, that's...
When did Mikleo join us? Well, that's good. I'm glad that he joined us, because that means I can do this now. Oh, I need a whole bunch of this, a whole bunch of this. Nah. No, because I'm gonna have to do that myself. No, because I'm gonna do that myself. Ah, damn it, I'm out of money. Probably should have just... You. No, you. Now they match. This is the fun jazz where I'm sitting here like... Actually, I don't think that really matters. Assassin's Dagger. Keep the ambient paper though. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Wait. No one's using earth rings and no one's using that. You're using calic boots. Okay, so now I can sell the rest of that I don't need. Cool. That should be that. I am also going to rest in the inn because it's a good idea.
Tell me more about equipment fusion. Okay, since fusion rules apply only to skills in the same exact slot, there are only 3 types of combinations you need to remember. First rule, if they're both the same skill, then that's the skill you get after fusion.
Simple enough. I'm guessing that same rule applies when both slots are empty.
Yes, the second rule is, if the slot's empty on one item and filled on the other, you get the skill from the filled slot.
Got it. So, the big question is, what happens when 2 different skills are in the same slot?
That's right. In this last case, a new skill is born from the 2 old ones, but it's sealed off temporarily. And the way to break the seal is... Oh my!
I'm curious if there's any treasure in the rooms. Nothing! Well, that's lame. Might as well save. Oh. This was an important looking spot, but I guess there is no conversation to be had about it. Oh well, that's okay. Oh, never mind. There is, it's just depending on where I'm standing.
Building a school to preserve the village's future. I have to respect that.
A school, huh? Always wished I could have gone to one.
Yeah, me too.
You too, Rose?
I grew up on the road. The older folks of the Scattered Bones were like my teachers. He may not look it,
But Roche is actually super good at calligraphy, and he knows a ton about literature.
That's fun.
Egil looks like he's no slouch either.
Yeah, he was the one who drilled me in martial arts and stealth skills. You might say he's my gym teacher.
Well, that's one way to get kids their exercise.
True.
Same with me and Mikleo. Pretty much everyone in Alicia wound up serving as our teachers.
Reminds me of Gramps' etiquette class. He was really strict.
And that's how Mikleo got the way he is today.
Whereas you didn't learn a thing, huh?
Hey, that's not true.
Yeah, right. You were always reading the Celestial Record.
You did the same thing.
Yes, but I read it to enhance my history and classical language studies.
And you're saying I didn't?
So, pretty much the same things you do now.
Fair enough. So yeah, we weren't lonely
Oh, look
per
at
se,
baby
but...
Mikleo!
It would have been nice to study and play with other kids our age.
Yeah, I feel you.
Baby Mikleo!
A destroyed entrance, huh?
Wouldn't hurt to take a look.
Well, that looks hopeless.
Oh, does it now?
Edna, you could use your powers.
Give it a try.
I certainly might. If you were to ask like so. Lady Edna, please do something about these rocks.
This is no time to be joking around.
Mikleo can't take Lady Edna anywhere, can he?
Oh, for...
Edna
Are you
is
still
so
hung
angry.
up on that?
Come on, spit it out. Lady Edna, I beg you to move these rocks which I, the pitiful Meebo, cannot.
Hey, that's longer.
Well, I charge interest.
Edna, I think that's enough teasing for now.
We need you to do something about these rocks, Edna. Please help us.
I didn't mean you.
Maybe not. But I'm as guilty as anyone here of taking you and your powers for granted. Even though I've seen malevolence born from that very mentality. Gratitude is vital in all actions, whether you're worshipping the Seraphim or simply journeying with friends.
Oh,
Seriously, it's fine. I'll give you my ability, the giant strength.
FYI, Saray doesn't get jokes.
Nice. I'll try breaking down these rocks that the meek and pitiful Meebo couldn't.
Not you too!
He really doesn't get jokes.
What mighty power!
Oh?
Hi, I got in.
What is this place? Some sort of warehouse?
You got that right. For the stuff that's quickly becoming all the rage amongst the nobility these days.
Elixir.
It's fake. But my body feels oddly warm.
That's because it's packed with energy drink garbage.
Mikleo.
Did I mention this stuff is highly addictive?
Stop drinking!
Make one sale and we'll race back for more. Pretty devious.
So, is this stuff being sold officially under the authority of the church?
The certificate carries the authentic stamp of the Church of Rolance, but it looks like the sales profits are all going to this village.
So that's what you meant about tracking the flow of money.
If there's someone in Gadadin who can create an official certificate...
It has to be the missing pope!
That explains the village's mystery funds.
And the malevolence from the chief.
So they're either conspirators or
the chief is the pope.
You! What are you doing in here?
That has to be...
A tiger hellion!
Yeah!
Could it really be?
The chief?
Ready? Strike!
You don't have to.
Ready? I will smite evil! Crimson Edge! Shadow Shot! I won't lose! Let's spread out! Strike! It won't end here! It's time! It won't end here! Ready? Lion Tower! Piece of cake!
Hey, it wasn't that easy.
That was a cinch.
It was a little easier than that.
Then what was it?
A piece of
A
cinch.
piece of cinch?
Oh.
It's not the chief?
So you are here to capture the chief. I knew it! I'll die before I allow that.
Enough! What is the meaning of this?
Are you Pope Macedra?
I see you've done your homework.
Yes, I did.
What would drive you to do such a thing?
I would ask the same. I never desired the title of Pope. So then, why must I continue to perform its functions?
Makes
I originally joined the Holy Order in order to give a small blessing, a glimmer of hope, to my family and those around me. But that is all.
But there are so many who cherish you. Sergei and the rest of the knights, and...
I know that! That's why I worked so hard. I did all I could. I toiled for years and years with no self-regard for the sake of everyone. And then... I took a look around me, and there was no trace of my family left behind. They had scorned me as a man with no regard for his household.
Aww.
What was it all for? What fruits had I to show for my endless labors?
Were you involved with the war against Highland?
I abandoned everything. The war, my country, even my people. At that point, I was beyond all caring. I fled into the forest to meet my death, but these folks rescued me. The good and gentle people of Gododin asked nothing of me, content merely to treat me as if I were one of their own family.
And so naturally he wanted to give something back to the village.
Even if it meant dealing fake elixir.
I care for neither the Empire nor the Church. Call me a coward if you like, but now I live for the sake of... my family, the villagers.
Baby.
Your family?
I can sympathize with him for sure, but nevertheless, we need to bring him back.
No.
We can't get the spiritual powers without deciphering the inscription. And the cardinal is too much to handle for the knights alone.
But, on the other hand, without the protection and leadership of the chief, what will become of Gododin?
Leave the chief here.
The same could be said for Pendrago. You see the problem?
Leave the
Pope
Pope alone!
that caused this mess. Why should he get a free pass?
Because.
There's gotta be a way around this. Maybe he could crack the code for us and head right back here?
But you know what the knights in the church are like right now.
You think they just let him walk away?
Oh no!
Chief!
Are you okay?
Dude! What happened? What happened? What happened? The chief is irresponsible. What does that say about those who pushed their responsibilities onto him? Whatever else you might say about him, he risked his life to save our Gododin. It's no fun when the chief's feeling sick. None of the other grown-ups are any good at teaching our school stuff. What happened? Please, you must let the chief go. I'll take the rap for selling the fake elixir. I'm gonna study hard so I can take over for the chief someday. What a good kid! During the creation process, the elixir produces a strong poison. I think that's what must have caused the chief's sudden ailment. He kept on brewing the elixir for us, knowing full well the risk posed on him. Everyone knew what kind of man the chief is. If you really are here to take him, it'll be over our dead bodies.
There's no cause for alarm. My need here is finished.
Everyone, please calm yourselves. Worry not, we are safe. The man standing before you is the real shepherd.
They keep finding this shit out so
Shepherd,
easily, and I don't even
there's
say
something
anything about
I
it.
dearly hope you will understand. The villagers bear none of the blame here. This was all my doing.
I just wanted to know the truth. That's all. So I'm leaving, as of now. Is that okay?
I'm not sure. But what I
Damn it,
do
Rose.
know is that you seem to trust this fellow. And that's enough for me.
Okay, good.
Rose,
Some things in the world come down to more than just black and white.
That is true.
I am sure Sergei and the Knights will understand as well.
But the real issue is, how are we going to get through the Cardinal's domain?
Yeah, that. I wonder if we can crack it.
The inscription's code?
What, ourselves?
It's not that crazy, is it? It's a man-made puzzle after all. Might even be fun.
That may be, but we better at least ask this guy for a hint or two.
Shepard, if you don't mind, please follow me.
Okay. Following. At high speed because I have wind step. It's a door!
What is this?
A door.
The Shepherd is granted 4 powers: earth, water, fire, and wind. They are the blade that shall cleave the Lord of Calamity. Scattered across this land are the shrines of trials. They too are of earth, water, fire, and wind. Tests they are of power and spirit. The power is brought forth in the spirit, and the spirit captures the power. With balance may malevolence be purified. With imbalance does the body smolder and burn. Test thyself, Shepherd, and brandish thy might. Rise to the challenge, and stake thy will on the outcome.
The sacred inscription.
He had it memorized?
Not bad. Even if it's still gibberish.
It's not gibberish.
What he means is...
We can obtain 4 different powers in 4 different places, and for each one you have to pass a trial, I think.
What he said.
Got it. So we just have to find those places.
Found one.
Yeah, or don't tell me this is one of them.
Indeed it is, Shepherd. This is Igraine, the Shrine of the Trial of Fire.
May we enter? Funny time to start asking permission, I guess.
The Shrine of the Trial is rife with danger. I cannot guarantee your survival. Will you still go?
Yes.
Of course, hidden powers in a secret shrine? I'm there.
Then go forth, young shepherd, and face your trial. This place exists for you.
Only, I think we're gonna save that for next week. Because that's gonna take like a time and a half.
Giant strength, huh? I hate to admit it, but Earth Seraphim sure are powerful.
Ugh.
Edna?
Ouch! After using giant strength, my body gets all kinds of sore. Can you just try not to touch me?
Oh, sorry.
As you can see, I have a slender build.
Oh.
So by nature, I can't really hold
She
anything
looks so
heavier
cozy.
than an umbrella. I'm the most ladylike lady that ever ladied, you know.
Well, whatever. But it does make sense that using such great power has a trade-off somewhere.
Just don't tell Saray about it. I don't want him to get all worried about me.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
And just so we're clear, it doesn't mean that it's okay to touch me whenever I'm not using my powers. Got it?
Yeah, I know.
Alright. We're gonna save the fire temple for next week. Just because that's gonna take a hot minute and I know that Secret's gonna be home soon. So we'll save it for next time. I think during my off time, I'm gonna run around in the frontier and level up a little bit. Just in case, because that might be a good idea. Either way, it was a good session. Got a lot done, got to where we needed to go, but I know that I need to get ready to do other things like get dinner and other jazz. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to work on writing. We'll work on the thingamajiggy. Thanks for streaming. Of course. Thanks for hanging out. I super appreciate it. Let's see. Let's raid the Fickle Ficus. Fickle Ficus is playing The Witcher. I think that'll be a good raid. Thank you for dropping those. The first one is if you are subscribed. The second one is if you're not subscribed. You're more than welcome to join in on the raid. I keep doing this. Why am I failing at this? There we go. All right. So we will be back again tomorrow for some writing around 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and all that fun jazz. Let's see. Yeah. So and then we'll get back to Tales of Zestiria next week, and I'm gonna do some leveling up during the off time and all that fun jazz. So yes. Thank you everybody for hanging out with me. I super appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that lurked. I super appreciate you. Thank you everybody that hung out with me in chat today. I super appreciate you. You all are fantastic, wonderful people. Make sure to give some wonderful tiger love to the Fickle Ficus. He's a fantastic streamer, good friend of the channel, just good person all around, good vibes. And yeah, thanks for the stream, of course. Thanks for hanging out. I super appreciate. So yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.